Jordan, first of all, I'm sure a lot of the players watched the games last night. What's the reaction to the news that you're going to be playing Germany?
Well, it's exciting. It's a huge game, and one that we'll be looking forward to. So, yeah, we knew whatever team would face, it was going to be a big challenge, and Germany will certainly be that. So, we need to prepare well, be ready for next week, and give everything against them.
A lot of people are saying that this is not a vintage Germany team. Do you think the form book goes out of the window when England play Germany?
Well, they're still a very good side. You know, I look at the players they've got, quality all over the pitch. Yeah, so again, it's going to be a very tough test. And like you said, in games like this, it's not necessarily about form. It's about whoever's better on the night and whoever puts the better performance in is going to have more chance of winning. And we need to make sure that we're 100% ready. And I'm sure we will be.
Obviously, the Scotland game was a massive occasion. This is going to be even bigger. How do you sort of make sure that you play the game and not the occasion? Is it possible for the squad to block out all the noise that surrounds such a big fixture?
Well, that's what you try and do in every game, really, is focus on what you can control, and focus on the football aspect of the game and what you work on in training to go and then do that in the game and just focus on what we're going to do as a team. So nothing needs to change in that sense. You know, of course, it's a big game, but you're playing in a big tournament. It's always going to be a big game, and a lot of players thrive off big games. So, like I said, hopefully we can handle the game very well and put on a good performance.
Obviously, we know how some England-Germany games have ended up in the past. Will it be a feature of training sessions this week that you'll all be practicing penalties?
We always practice penalties, so nothing really changes again. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be practicing them, but that's always the case in any tournament.
And your own fitness, you obviously played for 45 minutes on Tuesday. How are you feeling, and do you feel that you are ready to start now if called upon against Germany?
Yeah, it was very pleasing to get some minutes the other night. I was very happy to get 45 minutes. So yeah, I feel good. I felt good for a while now. Of course, I haven't played before that for a while, up until I played the friendly a few weeks ago. But yeah, I've been training for a long time. I've been feeling good, training well. So I just need to make sure I'm ready, and whenever called upon, I can come on and do a job for the team.
And the final one from me. It's obviously very unfortunate what's happened to Ben Chilwell and Mason Mount. You are part of the leadership group. Have you had a chance to reach out to them? And is there a way of keeping them involved and still making them feel like they're part of the squad?
Well, I haven't seen them, but I've spoke to them over text and stuff. So it's obviously going to be a bit difficult for them this week, a bit boring for them. But I'm sure the medical team are trying to do things where they can still train and stuff like that within the restrictions. But we're still not allowed to see them yet, which is tough. But hopefully, hopefully the medical team, I'm not sure what's going to happen in the next few days, but hopefully as the week goes on, they can start to come back into team training at some point, and because they're two big players for us.
Thanks, Carve. We'll now take one online, starting with James Savundra from TalkSport.
Jordan, do Germany carry the fear factor for you that many England fans have had for them down the years, and maybe some former England players as well?
Germany are always a good side. You watched the game the other night. They've got quality all over the pitch, fantastic players. So, yeah, it's always going to be a tough test. But when you get in the knockouts of the tournament, it's always going to be a tough challenge. So we need to make sure we're ready. We've got a good few days to prepare. And come Tuesday, we need to be ready to go, really.
And have you got any concern about the amount of chances that England are creating at the moment? And has the game plan differed significantly in this camp, in this tournament, than in previous camps you've had in recent years in Gareth, in terms of the way you're setting up and the way you're going about matches?
I think, well, if we look at World Cup, yeah, formations change slightly. But to be honest, I think you know, and especially two of the games, I feel as though we've managed the game really well, which is an important feature in tournament football. And ultimately, we're there to win games. You know, of course, we'd like to score more goals and create more chances. But you've got to just keep working, keep plugging away in training, keep learning from the games that you've just played, and be better in the next one. And that's all we can try and do for the next game, is try and be better, try and give everything. And like I said, the clean sheet thing, the defensive area has been really solid. We need to keep that going. We need to take that into the next game, and then obviously hopefully score a few more as well.
Thanks, James. Now back in the room with Ollie Foster from BBC.
Hello, Jordan. You've known for months, well, a long time, that you'd be playing Croatia, Scotland, the Czechs. How does the mood change? You know, you touched on it when you're watching those crazy matches last night, and there were 8 changes in that table. You could have been playing any 4 of them. How does the mood change now you've got, not very long to prepare for Germany?
Yeah, we've got a good few days, you know, to prepare after the game the other night. So that's a good sign and a good thing for us to be able to do that. So yeah, you're into the knockout stages, you know. If you win, you go to the next round. If you lose, you're out. We know that now. You know, you're not in a group where you might get another chance. So, yeah, we'll get into the nitty-gritty part of the tournament, and we've just got to stay focused, keep giving everything we have, keep improving, and come Tuesday, give everything on the pitch.
You turned 31 last week. All the players were singing you happy birthday, almost like the old man of the squad, aren't you? You were born in the middle of Italia 90. Obviously, there was one of many iconic England-Germany games in there. What does it mean to you as a fixture? You played in that friendly win 5 years ago, wasn't it, in Berlin? But what does it mean to you, England-Germany?
It's a special game, definitely a special game. I think in recent years, you look at the sort of goal that was over the line that wasn't given, that was probably the standout England-Germany game. But yeah, it's a special game for the players, for the fans, for everyone, for the neutral watching. It's a big game, and that's what you want to be playing in these tournaments. So it's very exciting. Everybody will be looking forward to it. And like I say, for the players, we've just got to stay focused and make sure we just give everything on the pitch and have no regrets.
Yeah, we got goal line technologies thanks to it. That was a good thing coming out of that one. How important are Jadon Sancho and Jude Bellingham over the next few days, coming out of the Bundesliga and knowing a lot of those players inside and out? Yeah,
of course they will do. I mean, a lot of us will know a lot of them anyway. The top class players all over the pitch. So we'll know them. I'm sure of that. We've watched the games in the Euros as well. So yeah, but Jude and Jadon will know them very well. So yeah, 2 big players for us, of course. They've been training really well, and I'm sure they'll be telling a few of the lads one or 2 things.
What was Gareth Southgate's reaction at the end of last night to getting Germany?
I'm not really sure, to be honest. You haven't really spoke about it too much. You know, we just had a light session today, but we've still got a few days to prepare properly to look into the German team, to see where we can exploit and what we'll look to do, what the game plan will be. And take that into the training sessions and obviously in the meetings as well. So yeah, we've got a big few days ahead, and preparation's key for this fixture.
Wembley, finally from me, is going to have double the amount of fans in there, and that could make a huge difference. Could be up to 45,000.
Yeah, again, hopefully that can be a big positive for us, and we can use that in the best way we possibly can. You know, having the fans back has been amazing these last few games. To be playing with fans has been really good. So for that to double and create even more of an atmosphere, it'll be really special. But us as players need to give the fans something to shout about, so hopefully we can do that on the night as well.
Thanks, Ollie. Back online with one from Jack Pitt-Brook of The Athletic.
Hi, Jordan. How much do you think the very controlled and disciplined game that England have played in the group stage so far will put you in good stead for playing a higher quality of opposition in the knockout rounds?
Yeah, that's been important for us. You know, I think a big part of tournament football is managing games and being controlled in certain situations. So, yeah, that's been a real positive and something that we need to take into the game on Tuesday, and hopefully we can continue that and also improve in 1 or 2 areas at the same time.
Thanks, Jack. In the room with Dan Salisbury-Jones from ITV.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
I just wondered if there's been any talk of the shootout in '96 yet, and I know he commands a lot of respect, but whether the manager might be reminded about it throughout the week.
No, we haven't spoke about it, no, and I'm not sure we will either, to be honest. But no, I think obviously a lot of talk will be on penalties and things like that. But for us, we've been in a penalty shootout not so long ago, and we practice penalties all the time. So it's just part and parcel of football, really, now in tournaments especially. I
just want to ask you about yesterday. We've read that you had a special visitor yesterday and a gig here. What was that like?
That got out quick, didn't it? No, I have to say he's top man. He was a fantastic guy straight away. He was very warming. And as a performer, everybody knows how good he is. So it was great to have him outside playing a few songs and speaking to him. So yeah, it was a really good day, or good night, should I say. To have him round for a few hours was nice.
Did he give you any words of encouragement?
No, it was a relaxed thing, it was very private, relaxed thing outside, bit of food, barbecue and stuff. And he jumped on the guitar, played a few songs. So it was incredible, really. It was a bit special, it was a bit surreal at times. He was just sitting playing the guitar while we were eating food. But like I said, I couldn't speak highly enough of him as a person. I thought he was brilliant, and the lads really enjoyed it.
Thanks, Dan. We'll go back online to Carrie Brown of beIN Sports.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Yeah.
Great. Jordan, I know everyone's going to ask you about Gareth Southgate and that hoodoo, but I think you really enjoyed breaking that hoodoo with the penalty shootout. What would it mean for you to then go out in front of your family, which you can't be with right now, and beat Germany in a Euros at Wembley? What would that all mean to you? And I know there are all these sort of mini competitions with penalties now in your group. Is it now a fun thing for you to do?
Well, it would mean everything to us to get into the next round of the tournament. Of course, to beat Germany is special as well, because we're a fantastic team and it's always a big game. So it would mean everything to us as a squad to be able to progress. So yeah, we'll look forward to the game, and all we can do is give absolutely everything we've got on Tuesday, and hopefully that's enough to win the game. And around the penalties, listen, we'll practice them, like I said, when it's tournament football, we'll practice them all the time. And in terms of the fun side, we try and do it seriously, because you want to practice properly, so the whole process. So it's important you do it properly, and you're clear in your mind if you do need to take a penalty, what you're going to do.
Thanks, Carrie. Next we'll go to Theo Squires, the Liverpool Echo.
Hi, Jordan. Obviously, I think it was back in February where you injured yourself against Everton, had to undergo groin surgery. And it seems like it's been a really long recovery period for you, when there was first whispers of you maybe being back in April. How have you felt with the whole process? Obviously, you're back now, you say you're feeling fully fit, but it's like a month, 6 weeks there. Was there any moment when you felt that you might not be fit for the Euros? How have you dealt with the whole situation?
Well, it's always difficult with injuries, The toughest part of being an athlete is dealing with injuries. So yeah, it wasn't easy. It was tough to go through that period, but you always seem to come out the other end stronger for the amount of work you do in the gym and the amount of training you do. So I'm in a pretty good place. I feel physically very good because I've had a lot of period of training, not only in the gym, on strength in many different areas, but also on the pitch now. So yeah, it was great to get on the pitch finally in a competitive game the other night and get 45 minutes under my belt, which I felt good in. So yeah, like I say, I feel really good, really positive in the situation that I'm in, and hopefully I can just keep contributing to the team going forward.
Thanks, Theo. Now to Stuart Rayner, the Yorkshire Post.
Hi, John. I just wanted to ask, at the start of this week even, probably from the outside, people might have been looking at this thinking you're in competition with Calvin Phillips for a place, but obviously, you got to play together the other night. I wonder how you felt that worked and how you feel you complement each other as a partnership.
Yeah, Calvin's a very good player. I think you've seen that in the games that he's played, not only for Leeds but for England. He's done fantastically well. He's a great lad to have around as well. So he's been a big player for us. But we've got a lot of good players in midfield. You know, Deck, who's been brilliant. Jude, who's a fantastic talent and has done brilliantly this season and done well when he's come on as well. Mason. Yeah, there's a lot of talented players in the midfield area, so we'll keep pushing each other every day in training, but also get on really well off the field as well, which is important. So, yeah, whatever team the manager decides to play, I'm sure that we'll give absolutely everything. It'll be the right balance within the midfield. But yeah, like you say, Calvin's been a big part of that, and he will be going forward over the next game, if not throughout the tournament.
Thanks, Stuart. Now to Rob Ellis, Stats Perform.
Jordan, just wanted to go back to an earlier point about the fact that only 2 goals are scored in the group stage. How much of that is going to be a focus in terms of prioritising the attacking play in your preparations for next week?
I don't think we need to get too caught up about it. You know, I think clean sheets is also a big part of football, and especially in tournament football. So that's been a real positive thing for us, and we need to keep that. We need to keep that sort of being solid not only at the back but throughout the team, throughout the game. And I think that's something we definitely need to take into the game Tuesday. Yes, would like to score more goals, but yeah, we've got world-class forwards. You know, world-class players all in the forward position, and we know that if we create chances, they're going to score goals. So I'm not too concerned about that. You know, I think we will still continue to create chances, and when we get them, we need to make sure we're taking them, which I'm sure we will do.
Thanks, Rob. Okay, we've got 2 more left in the live section of this media conference. We'll next go to Dom Smith of englandfootball.org.
Hi, Jordan. I just want to ask you about the goal which you scored. I mean, you haven't scored yet for England. You must have been dreaming that you'd scored your first for your country. What did you think at the moment?
I thought it could have been offside, to be honest. I wasn't quite sure, because I thought I might have hit off the defender's foot as well. I wasn't sure it came off Jude or the defender, so that's what I was questioning. But yeah, unfortunately, it was offside. But I'm sure it's coming. I can feel it.
Thanks, Dom. And we'll finish the live section with one from Matt Reed of Kick Magazine.
Hi, Jordan. We've spoken a number of times over the years about the importance of mental strength, especially when you get to the upper levels and to the highest standard of these competitions. The Germans are notorious. They're renowned for their almost metronomic ability to just battle on through, and no matter how the team's playing, they keep on believing that they can win the match. How do you think England compares to Germany now, and how have we come on as a mentally proficient football nation in recent years?
I think we've shown over the recent years that there's a lot of that in our game now. You know, how we manage games, how we see games out, how we always keep going right till the very end. Overcoming penalty shootout in the World Cup was a big thing, I think, mentally for everyone. So I do feel as though we've improved with that over the last few years, definitely. And again, that's going to be a big thing on Tuesday in football or in any sport. The mental strength is a huge part of it, you know. And yeah, I feel as though we've got a lot of players in the squad who are very mentally strong, and that's going to be important come Tuesday.
Thanks, Matt. Okay, that concludes the live section of this media conference. We'll now move on to a short section embargoed until 10:30 p.m. this evening, and we'll start in the room with Ollie Holt from the Mail.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Ollie.
This follows on slightly from the mental strength thing. I mean, you've been through periods of adversity in your career. I guess most of your colleagues here in the squad have at one point or another. Obviously, with Gareth, he had the big thing when he missed that penalty in '96, which is going to be talked about ad nauseum in the build-up. Does the fact that he came through that and came out the other side. He's the person he is now. Does that make him, do you think, more relatable to people like you, to the squad in general, that he's come out, he's experienced it, he's come out the other side of it?
Yeah, I think it's a good example of, well, I can imagine the feeling that he had at that moment in time. But yeah, things like that you've got to deal with, move on, and try and make you a stronger person, really. And I'm sure if you speak to the gaffer, he'll tell you that it did that for sure. So yeah, a lot of us have been through adversity in our lives, and some way or somehow you try and use that to be better. You try and use that as motivation to be better. And yeah, like I said, I'm sure a lot of the lads in the squad have had to go through things like that, and that's where you sort of grow, and the mentally tough side comes in, really, and the mental strength, like we're talking about, is really important. And I think you sort of grow with that, or you learn from your past experiences that you've been through.
Just one quick follow-up from that. Have you, I'm not making light of it, but have you seen any of the stuff around that? I mean, presumably you've seen footage of that penalty. I mean, are you aware of stuff like the pizza advert? Have you seen that? No.
No, what happened? What's happened with the pizza advert?
No, he and Stuart Pearce and Chris Waddle did an advert for I think it was Pizza Hut or something,
right?
Which was sort of making, they were making fun of each other. It was yeah.
Right. No.
It was an interesting, it's just one way of dealing with it, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go online to John Cross, The Mirror.
Hi, Jordan. Nice to see you. I just wonder whether I could just expand a little bit more on the mentality aspect, really. I guess for many years, we always used to think of the Germans as the mentality monsters. That they were the arch exponents of that, really, and sort of mental strength. Are we at that level yet? Because we really seem to have kicked on. And can I just slip another cheeky one in yet? Has Jurgen been in touch on text yet, or anything like that?
I wouldn't like to compare us with other teams, to be honest. I think the mentality has changed over the last few years in a positive way, and what we've experienced together as a team. And we need to use that come Tuesday and going forward over the next however many years. We need to keep improving that, because it's a big part of the game. And the answer to your second question is yes, he has.
What did he say? Can I ask?
To be honest, he went, as soon as the final whistle went, he just sent us like a smiley face emoji.
Thanks, John. Next, go to Matt Nash in the Metro.
Hi, Jordan. The way the team is now, and the way the team's come on the last few years, do you think now there's no fear of the Germans that there might once have been a few years ago?
Well, I think we still give them a lot of respect. I think they're still a top team with world-class players, like I just said. So it's going to be a tough game for us. But we're in knockouts of the Euros, so it's always going to be tough. And it's a really big game. All the lads will be really excited for it. It's a big game for us to see where we're at as a team, really, and where we can get to. Because we've been going really well over the last few years, progressing as a team. Over the last few games, we've been really good defensively, very solid. Would like to have scored, like we've spoke about, a few more goals, but at the end of the day, we've been keeping clean sheets, winning games, top the group. So still a lot of positivity within the last three performances, and we need to take all of that into the game Tuesday.
Thanks, Matt. We'll take one more in the room. Rob Harris.
So much of the England-German rivalry is focused on the past. There's so much focus on old games, old history. Do you think it's changed a bit now because of the likes of Jurgen and their influence in English football? And, it's almost softened the England-German rivalry because they're so influential, people like Jurgen?
Yeah, the gaffer at Liverpool has been very influential, of course, at Liverpool, but the sort of charisma he's got as well. I think a lot of people love him, even if you're a neutral fan. So he's had a big part on English football in the Premier League. But But for us as players, you know, you don't really tend to think too much about the history, and it's about the here and now for us, and focusing on the challenge ahead, what Germany are good at, the areas we can exploit, what we can do to hurt them, all of the things that we can actually focus on and then do in the game. That's all our energy goes into, really. So we don't get too caught up on the history and what's happened previously.
You've had a lot of time to watch quite a few of the Germany games. Guessing over the last couple of weeks, what have you made of them? Particular threats, and you know, they've obviously had quite a mix. They've changed fortunes throughout the tournament.
Yeah, but they're a top team. You know, you go through every single position on the pitch. You've got world-class players everywhere, so it's always going to be a tough game. But we're a good team as well. We're very good players, so I've got full confidence in the lads that we can go out there and put on a brilliant performance at Wembley and get into the next round, and that's what we need to try and do.
Thanks, Rob. Back to Zoom with Dan Kilpatrick of The Standard.
Hi, Jordan. Looking ahead to the game, with the ball, do you think England are better at keeping possession now than you were in Russia? And without the ball, you would have seen what Toni Kroos can do with space in the Champions League quarter-final first leg. So how important without the ball is it to deny him kind of space and time to pick his passes?
Yeah, with the ball, it's extremely important to keep it, you know, especially against Germany. You know, they're a fantastic team who have got very good technical players who can dominate games with the ball. So you need to be really solid without the ball. You need to be defensively solid like we have been. So we need to continue that because they have players like Kroos that can hurt you, as we've seen plenty of times in the past. A world-class player who can really hurt you with time and space. So we need to make sure that without the ball, we're really, really solid. And then when we get it, we need to be calm and composed, but also positive with the player getting the ball forward and trying to create as many chances as we can, because like I said before, we've got some fantastic forward players who can hurt any opposition. So if we can get the ball into them and let them go and do the thing, then I think we can be in for a real good night on Tuesday.
Thanks, Dan. Okay, we've got time for a couple more. We'll go to Mark Manbryans, the PA, next.
Hi, Jordan. You took a bit of a stick for the missed penalty in the warm-up. I just wondered if there'd been any conversation internally about that, and would you have any issue stepping up again from the spot if needs be on Tuesday night?
No, I think it was blown out of proportion, to be honest, after the game. So no, nothing to be said after or internally. I was obviously disappointed to miss, but yeah, I was more disappointed for Dom as well, because he could have had another goal for England. But yeah, but it was a thing that was probably blew out of proportion a little bit. So no need to dwell on that and speak about it after. Yeah, in terms of penalties going forward, we practice penalties here all the time, especially in tournaments, and the gaffer will just, depending on who's playing and who finishes the game and things like that, the gaffer will decide his penalty takers on the night. So yeah, it's not really down to me, but of course I'll always take one.
Thanks, Mark. To Sammy Mockbell next.
Hi, Jordan. Can the fact that the squad's so young perhaps be a benefit, because it will be the biggest night maybe that some of these lads have played in, and what is your role moving forward for that night in terms of helping those kids, not just at the game but throughout the build-up?
Well, I think, you know, we have, like you said, we have got quite a young squad, but I think that can be a positive thing, like you say. You know, a lot of these lads just go out and play, enjoy the game, play with no fear, and that's what they need to do again on Tuesday. Go and enjoy it, go and show everybody how good they are, but yeah, use the emotion and the passion in the right way to give you energy for the game, because that can be the difference, really. So yeah, of course, as an experienced player, I can help with that and make sure that we're in the right frame of mind going into the game, and make sure training's at the level it needs to be over the next few days to prepare for that one. But yeah, everybody's confident, everybody's feeling good, and we've got a good few days to prepare for a huge game. But a lot of the lads have played in huge games already, you know, Champions League finals, Champions League games, cup finals, big games for England. So they're used to big games, even though they're young. And I'm sure they're looking forward to this one Tuesday.
Thanks, Sammy. And we'll finish with Neil Squires from The Express.
Hi, Jordan. You mentioned all the practice that you do regularly on the penalties as a squad. Can you just expand on that a little? How do you shape that? Do you try and mimic the competitions? Do you walk up from a long distance to take them? Fake crowd noise? How does it work?
Well, I don't want to go into too much detail. You know, I can't tell you too much because it's penalties at the end of the day. But yeah, the process is like you would in a game. So yeah, walk up, do your process that you would do in the game, and what you would do if you had to take one, and that goes around the whole team. So yeah, we've done that for a long time. No, it's not just this tournament. We've done that for a while.